This episode freshly released on a Thursday. Let me ask, why Thursday? Well, days of the week have certain meaning. For example, this channel tends to release the larger videos on Monday. You ever wonder why? Well, Monday is important because it's a day for Luna, literally the day of the moon. Thursday, well, the interpretation for our purposes is to call Thursday Thor's Day because if you begin to look up the equivalent of Poseidon in Norse mythology, you'll stumble into a long rabbit hole involving Thor, Ankr, and so the rabbit hole goes. But, speaking of rabbit holes, what if I told you that timing your trades by day of week might make a difference? Well, I wasn't quite expecting that either. Welcome to Unusual Due Diligence. I am your host Poseidon, god of the sea, and often talking milkshake. In today's fresh episode, I review a bit of data that I intend to put a little experimental test to. The idea behind this episode comes from community member E.J. Garza, who asked the following question, quote, "Can you do a chart where retail gets paid out every week and then bi-weekly and salary to see if charts peak at Fridays or which days it usually peak?" End quote. Well, first off, I'd like to thank everyone who subscribes to this channel and thumbs up this video on Unusual Due Diligence is getting paid, one way or another. Plus, the better this channel gets, the more I can do to help our community succeed with the long-term goal to obtain, well, I believe the technical term is called the fat loots. Here on the channel, EJ Garza posed such an interesting question that, well, I decided to check into it. And I didn't just check Ankr. Oh no, viewer, I checked Sol, Algo, AMP, Ankr, AMP, and Dogecoin too. Now, the Thursday episode needs to be a little brief because I do need to balance this channel with my other commitments. And the research phase did take a bit longer to compile. I'm sure you can appreciate that. And this is therefore a part 1 up 2 episode. But really, it's a trailer for this upcoming Monday. You might say to yourself, why build a trailer to a longer episode? Well, because I want to show you the results of an experiment. An experiment based on data that I gathered in response to EJ's question. Here's the experimental setup. First, we need a coffee, so let's shift into the coffee house and start looking over what's going on. On the screen here is a tabular list, meaning it's a matrix of a few rows and columns. Nothing complicated. The rows are the days of the week, so literally Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And the columns? Well, if you see the screen there are some cryptic values. Let's demystify them. This column is called sum of CL, and another column called sum of CL plus 1. Note I said CL and not JL, who can often be found in our community comments. Shout out to JL. Now, what in the world are these columns? And there's this third composite column called buy, sell, TM, close. Okay, here's what these are. The column CL stands for close, and the second column, the one labeled CL plus 1, that stands for tomorrow's close. The third column, the buy, sell, TM, close, that's the interesting one. That's an automatic calculation based on this idea. Quote, what if you bought at the close of one day, then sold literally one day forward from there at the next close? End quote. The question is, would there be an edge? Why are there two columns? Well, the short and dirty answer is because these are aggregations of data, and I'm looking at using these two columns to perform a kind of check and balances on the math. Now, if you're on this channel, I assume you're familiar with the concept of a trading edge. I might one day run a poll to kind of gauge whether or not I should cover trading mechanics in more detail, perhaps in an unusual way. So this is a trailer episode because I intend to run an experiment this weekend. Now, if you're looking at this chart, you're seeing these columns of data, and there's a lot to unpack here, more than a quick Thursday highlight reel video can go into. So let me explain a bit more about this experiment. For the experiment, I intend to buy one or more of these cryptos on Friday, and then turn around and sell them either at a profit or a loss on Saturday or Sunday, depending on the experiment, and see what happens. Then on Monday, I intend to, on 1/31/2022, I'll review with you the results of this exercise and go into even more detail about what appears as a legitimate trading edge here. So we'll see you on Monday on this channel. Oh, where? Here. If you're confused, well, let's go into it. This is Unusual Due Diligence. I'm your host Poseidon, and in today's fresh episode, I reviewed an experimental setup based on a community suggestion to check into a relationship between days of the week and the moon. Monday's video certainly will be very interesting. In the meantime, be sure to check out the community tab and answer the research questions there. I'm using that to calibrate my time so I can figure out how to optimize how best to help you and the channel succeed. Make waves, my friend.